graphical attribute settings. In the last chapter, we have introduced how to create graphical elements. Then this chapter will introduce how to edit a graphical element, how to modify the properties, attributes of the graphical elements. Okay. We will introduce a color setting and how to modify the property of light, faces, and text. Okay. About color, we have introduced color. How to define the color? We have at least four methods, okay, to define the color. RGB color, index color, theme color, and scheme color. Okay. This lesson I will introduce RGB color. RGB color defines color using the components, the red, green, and blue components of the color. Each of the components have a value from 0 to 255. Okay. In xlwings, you can use a method RGB, use a function RGB to int. Use this function to define RGB color. This function included in utils sub package in xlwings package. Okay. Please note that there is double circle brackets here. Red, green, blue, three components. The value 0 to 255. And also, there are other two forms of RGB color. This or in this form. This form is similar to the function. Okay. The first two bits define this component, the red component. The middle to be define the green components. The last two define the blue components. Okay. For example, application or book or shape, and use add shape to create a circle, a field circle. Then we modify the color of the field and the color of the line, the edge. Okay. The field, first we use RGB to int function to define the color. The color of the field is green. The color of the edge is blue. Wrong. Green, blue. Okay. You use another form. Use this form to define RGB color. The color of the field this is red. Okay, red, green, blue. Okay. Save. Wrong. The color of the field becomes red now. Okay. And this form you can test it by yourself. Okay. RGB color, index color, we have introduced that index color have two tables. The first table consists of the object to be countered and the corresponding counter index. The second table consists of counter index and the counter. Okay, use counter index to collect the two tables. So an object use counter corresponding to the counter index to countering the object corresponding. Okay. Here is the second table. The second table consists of the counter index and the corresponding counter. Each of the counter in the table has a counter index. Okay. For example, 3. The corresponding counter is red. Okay. 1 black, 2 white. Okay. We instance countering set an index to a counter index property of the font or font object. Okay. Then set the corresponding counter in the table. Here is red to render the font. Okay. Index counter usually used in font coloring and the cell background. Okay, usually used in the worksheet. For example, font in cell C3. Okay, specify color red. Okay. Then input value in the cell C3. Run. Okay, the test is red now. Our index color. The third method to define color as same color. Okay. In Excel, there are many built-in same colors. Each of the same color has a name, has a value. Okay, listed in this table. We use same color to color an object. Just specify the constant or the value of this of the corresponding same color. Okay. For example, here, first create a circle, then specify or set the value. The value is this value. Okay. To object same color property of a color object. The property is a property of color object. Okay. The field, the line. The example. Same color. Set value or name constant. Okay. Object same color property. Run. Okay, circle. Color field is green. The edge is blue. Okay, same color. The fourth method, scheme color. Similar to sim color, scheme colors are also built-in colors in Excel. Each of the scheme color has a name, has a value. Just specify the value to scheme color of the color object. Okay. For example, the field color are 9 color. Wrong. Okay. Create a circle. Field color green. Edge color blue. This scheme color. 9. The properties of 9. First, color 9 style and 9 wise. The main properties of 9. Okay. The 9 also has other properties, include arrows, transparency, and pattern fill, etc. Okay. This lesson we introduced color 9 style and 9 wise. Okay. First set color. Color we just in the last 4 lessons we have introduced how to set color for 9 for the edge of the circle. Okay. This is the method. 9 style. 9 style auto say dash style. Okay. First create auto shape. Then use the 9 property of the shape object. Get the 9 in the shape. Okay. Then set the property for the 9. Okay. First color, RGB color. Dash style, use the dash style property of the 9 object. Here says a value 5. There are many dash style. Each of the style has a value and a name. Here, use a value to specify the dash style. Use the weight property to set the 9 width of the 9. Okay, here set it to 3. Application workbook worksheet. Okay, first create 9 here and 9 and 9 method. The start point, end point. Okay, use 9 property to extract to get the 9. Okay. Set the properties of the 9. The color, the die style, the weight, the 9 width. Okay. Then I create a circle. Use 9 property to extract its border. Then set the color of the border, die style of the border, the 9 width of the border. Okay, I run. Oh, the 9, property of the 9, the border of the 9. Okay. 9 properties. Okay. 9 properties. Arrows. For a 9, it has a start point and end point. It's just two point. 2 points. You can add arrow. It's just 2 points. Okay. The arrow here. How to define the arrow? to define the arrow, you can the contents include arrow head length, head style, head width. Okay. A start point, use begin arrow head length to define the head length. Begin arrow head style to define the style. Begin arrow head width to define the width. Okay. For end point, use end arrow head length to define length. End arrow head style to define the style. End arrow head width to define the width. Okay. Example, for example. Okay, create a 9, add 9, get 9. Add arrows at the begin point and the end point. Okay. Run. Here, create a 9. This is the end point. Endpoint. This is a start point. This arrow. You can modify the value to test the different values, for example, different length, different style, different width to test by yourself. Okay. Arrows. 9 properties, transparency. In Excel, 9 also has the property of transparency. You can use a value 0 to 1 to set the transparency. Set this value to the transparency property of the 9 objects. Okay. Create a 9. The 9 width, the color transparency. Test. Here, create a circle. Then add a 9. The 9 says the 9 width, says the color of the 9. This 9 transparency is 0. Okay. The second 9, 9 width, color. Set the transparency. Okay. Run. A circle. First draw a circle, then draw 2 lines on the circle. The first line is not opaque. So it's ornate as a ellipse. The second line says transparency. So you can the ellipse under the line can be seen. Okay. Transparency. 9 properties. Use a pattern to fill the line. Okay. The pattern Excel has embedded built-in has many built-in patterns. Partial of them defined in the table, listed in the table. Okay. And cross, downward dialog. Okay. Many types. You can specify the value for a specified pattern. Okay. Here, add 9 says width. Then says pattern. Set a value, the value in table. Set a value to pattern property of 9 objects to set a pattern fill for the segments. Okay, so like this. Okay, for example, run. Set pattern. You use pattern to fill the line. Okay, you can test the other patterns. Okay. Okay, face properties. How to modify the properties of face. We will introduce this content in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The next 9 lessons. Okay. The face include the fill and the edge. How to define the property of the edge we have introduced in the next 4 lessons. Okay, so the next 9 lessons define the properties of the fill. How to fill. We can use a solid color to fill. Solid fill. Use a gradient color to fill. Use pattern to fill. Use texture to fill. Use picture to fill. Okay. Many methods. First, we introduce how to use solid color to fill the face. For example, here we first create a circle, ellipse. Use fill property to get the fill of the shape. Okay. Then set the color of the fill object. RGB color. Add the shape. Add the ellipse. Use fill property to get the fill. The RGB color to the fill. This is solid fill. It's single color to fill the ellipse. Okay. Single color. Use gradient color to fill the face. There are 3 types in Excel to use gradient color to fill the face. The first is use single color gradient to fill the face. Okay. The second is use 2 color gradient to fill. The third is use a multicolor gradient to fill the face. Okay. A single color gradient fill. Use the method 1 color gradient to set. In fact, there are 2 colors is used here. The first color is the color you specified. The second color is white. Is a fixed color. Okay. 1 color gradient. This method has 3 parameters. The first is style. You can fill the object in different directions. The style define the direction, horizontal or vertical. Says style. Okay. The second and the third parameter you can usually set it to 0 and 0. Okay. Here is an example. First, add a rectangle. Get the fill object, then set a color for the fill. First, the full color, RGB color, set to the full color, and then use 1 color gradient to fill the rectangle. the style here is 3. Okay. Three means this effect from left top corner gradient to the right bottom corner. Is another effect. For example, in this example, first create a rectangle, get a fill object, set a 4 corner, then use 1 corner gradient to use 1 corner gradient fill. Okay. The second example, first create an ellipse, get the fill object, set the 4 corner, use 1 corner gradient method to fill the fill. Okay. Run. This is rectangle ellipse. Okay. So the 1 corner gradient factory had 2 corners. The second corner is white. White gradient to the specified color. Okay, single color gradient fill. Last lesson we introduced a single color gradient fill, and this lesson we will introduce 2 color gradient fill. A single color gradient fill, in fact, is also a 2 color gradient fill, but the second color is fixed as white. Okay. In 2 color gradient fill, the second color you can specify it by yourself. Okay. Use 2 color gradient method to implement 2 color gradient fill. Okay. 2 parameters. These 2 parameters is same as the first 2 parameters of 1 color gradient. Okay. Use first parameter to specify the style of the fill of the gradient. Okay. Gradient direction. Here is an example. Add a shape. First create a rectangle, get a fill. Set 4 color. Then use 2 color gradient to define the 2 color gradient fill. Then specify the back color. This is the effect. Okay. So the second color specified by the back color. Now you can specify the first color and the second color by yourself. Okay. For example, okay, there are some other examples for 1 color gradient fill. Okay, wrong. Okay. Different types. 2 color gradient fill. Okay. There were 2 shapes created. First, the first is a rectangle. Rectangle get fill object, says 4 color. 2 color gradient defines the 2 color gradient fill. The style. Okay. Then says the background color. Back color. Okay. The second shape, create an ellipse. Fill 4 color, 2 color gradient, back color. Okay. Use 4 color and back color to set the 2 color. Run. This is a result. Okay. From red to green, from blue to green. Okay. So both of the color, both of the 2 colors specified by itself. Okay. Okay. There's a two-color gradient field. Okay, in this lesson, we will introduce a multi-color gradient field. It's different from the gradient color introduced in the last two lessons. Okay, multi-color. The key problem is how to insert, how to define multi-color. So here is object. Here object is used here. Gradient stops use this object to insert multi-color. Okay. First, here create a rectangle. Get a field object. Set full color. Then use one color gradient to specify the style. Of course, you can also use two color gradient here. Okay. Then use gradient stops property of field object to return gradient stops object. Then use the insert method of the object to insert a specified color as a specified position. The first parameter specifies color insert here. The second parameter specifies the position of the color. Okay. The position is normal is normal to normal in the range of 0 to 1. Okay, 0 to 1. Normalized to from 0 to 1. Then insert the third color. Green is position of here. Okay. Then insert the last color. So there are four colors to fill the rectangle. Here is the example. Please note that there are some issues in this example. The color white is not defined in the code, so there is an issue. Okay. The example has opened. Okay. A multi-color gradient field. Two shape. First is a rectangle. The second ellipse. The code we have just introduced. The code is same as here. Okay. Run. Okay. Multicolor, no problem. Multicolor, blue, red, green. Okay. But there was an issue here. The white we didn't define the white, so we must delete the white. How to delete the white here? We first insert a color. After the first insert, here delete 2. And this line. Okay. Then run. Then the white disappear. Okay. Red, green, blue. Okay. Multi-color gradient field. Okay, pattern field. We have introduced a color field, solid color, gradient color, different types of gradient color. Now we introduce pattern color. There are many built-in patterns in Excel. Okay, each of the pattern has a name and a value. Use a value to specify the pattern to fill. Okay. Here, create a rectangle, get the fill object, set for color, then use the pattern. Here, the pattern is a method. Please know that. Pattern, okay. The parameter specifies the type of the patterns. Okay. Then set the background color. For example, rectangle, ellipse, get a fill object for color, pattern, pattern fill, back color. The ellipse gets a fill object for color, pattern, back color. Okay, run. Okay, pattern field. You can change the number, the value of the patterns to test different type of patterns by yourself. Okay. Picture field. Okay, picture field. Here the picture is the picture specified by yourself. Okay. Use picture to fill the specified face, specified region. Use this method. Use a picture. Use a picture method of fill object to fill format object to fill the picture. The parameter specify the picture, the path and the file name of the picture. Okay. Here with the example, rectangle, ellipse. For example, rectangle, ellipse. Use a picture method. Specify the path and the file name of the picture. Run. Okay. Texture field. Okay. We introduced the picture field in the last lesson. Okay. This lesson, texture field. The texture field here, the texture used here is also picture. Also a picture. The difference is that the style of using picture to fill the object is different. In picture field, the picture is stretched, okay, stretched to fit the object, the size of the object. But in texture field, the size of the image is not changed, and it fill the object in the style of tile, tile. So the effect is looking like this. Okay. How to implement texture field? Okay. So the example, first create the rectangle, get a fill object, fill format object, then use user texture method to implement a texture field. Okay. The parameter specifies path and the file name of the image. Okay. For example, a rectangle, ellipse, a round. Use a textured method in tile style. Okay. The size of the image not change. Texture fill. Okay. Preset texture fill. Preset. In itself, there are many pictures, many built-in pictures. These pictures are called preset texture. Okay. Factually, they are pictures. They're also pictures. Here, this example creates a rectangle as a fill format object. I use the method preset texture to implement the preset texture field. Okay, the parameter is the index number of the preset texture in Excel. Here, the nice preset texture is a green marble picture. Okay, this effect. For example, a rectangle, ellipse. Okay, you preset texture, specify the preset picture type. Okay, round, green marble. Okay, transparency. Transparency is an important property of a face object. Okay. Here, in this example, we first create two other shapes, a rectangle and ellipse. Get the fill format object from the second shape. Okay, so full color. Then so the transparency of this fill format object. Okay, this is the result. Okay, for example, of the code just introduced. Okay, run. Transparency. Test properties. For test, first the string of the test. Okay. Then the font of the test. Fonts include the font name, the size, the stress through bold, italic, stress through underline, etc. Okay. And alignments, the property of test. Test is also important graphical elements. Okay, for example, here, first import a string and in cell C3. I use the property of font property to return a font object ft. Then use the properties of the font object to set the font for a test in this cell. Okay. First, name, the font name, specifies font name. Color index, specify color of the font. Size, bold, stress through, underline, italic. Okay. This is the result. 31. Application workbook worksheet. Okay, the range input a string in cell C3. Get the font object. Set the properties of the font object. Font name color size bold /through underline italic. Okay. Run. Okay. Font test properties.